Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So Alexa and I wanted to jump on today and talk a little bit about the newest guide that we released this week, which before this, Alexa was making fun of me because I have a physically printed copy of the guide of the ebook, but I'm old school like that. So our new guide is on Christmas, which it feels weird that we're already starting to talk about Christmas and planning for that season, but it is here, believe it or not. And so, the guide that we are promoting right now is really just about tips and resources for churches that, regardless of sort of kind of where you're at with your situation, because we have some churches that are completely physically back together. We have a lot of churches that are still doing virtual. We have some that are in a hybrid mode. And so, really what we wanted to do was just provide a resource to give some tips and tricks and best practices of, regardless of kind of how your church is operating right now, how can you make the most of this season? Because it's obviously a really important season for all of us. And as we were talking about our meeting today, I was like, well, I just literally had this situation kind of play out in my personal life. So I have a second grader, and the school that he goes to has a tradition called the Halloween Ball, which is all of the kids get to show up in their costumes. I think we just lost Alexa, but they get to show up in their costumes today. And traditionally, we would all physically go to the school, and they would get to walk around the auditorium, and we'd sing songs, and they get to show off their costumes. And it's a really big tradition at his school. This year, because they're operating in a hybrid mode, we don't get to do that. So this morning we had the Halloween Ball. But all the kids were physically in school, but the parents were online. And it was a fun experience. I mean, I think if we're being honest, most of the parents would have rather physically been there for the Halloween Ball, but that wasn't possible this morning. So instead they had it, and we were all on a Zoom call, and they would go into the respective classrooms, and the kids would get to walk around. And what I thought was cool about it was, like, they added some just kind of quirkiness to it that they haven't done in the past with different things to kind of make it unique. And I thought that the other really cool thing was that there were a lot of parents on it this year that traditionally wouldn't have been able to physically go to the school to participate. So they had a bigger audience than they normally would have. So anyway, I think that's all to say, like, a lot of the events that we're going to be experiencing over the next couple of months, they're just going to be different, and that's okay. I think what we want to do is encourage everyone to embrace that difference, to make them a little fun and a little quirky, to give yourself some grace, because it is hard to pull off these events, and just do our best to make the best of kind of a different and difficult situation. So anyway, that is largely what this guide is about. And over the next 3 or 4 weeks during our 3 minutes with aware3, we'll be kind of breaking some of those sections down and going through those in a little bit more detail. So if you haven't downloaded our new guide, I would encourage you to go check it out. Maybe you'll read it online, or you could be old school like me and want a hard copy that you print out and highlight things. I'm an old guy. What can you say? What can I say? Anyway, I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and we will talk to you next Wednesday. Have a good week.